I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever.
What are we doing?
All right,
Number
man.
138 with Jimmy Paul. And as you can see, Bo is late to the show as usual.
We waited as long as we could before we could get started, but I don't know where the kid is. He's going to probably come in here with some lame excuse and then lie. like
He's
already
fucking
been here.
always. Oh, hey, Bo.
Oh, wow. Look who
Welcome
just
to the
made
show.
it in. Come on in.
Welcome to the show.
Have a seat. Join us.
What do you look shocked for?
Glad you
Welcome
can
to
make
the show.
All right. Outstanding. Thanks.
We've been waiting on you.
Yeah, we're live.
Once again, Bo's late, guys.
Here he is. He's here.
But,
Say hi to Bo.
He wants to be.
Fucking
He
try
wants
that
to be a
shit.
clown. Hey,
Don't try
everybody,
that
give Bo a
shit.
round of applause. Thank you,
This is for Bo.
Your Majesty. You made it.
Don't
Was your fucking private jet
It's
late,
such
or
an
what happened
honor to
there?
have you,
try
man.
that shit with
Wow.
me, dude. Don't try that shit.
Listen, first
I've
off,
been here.
See, I told you he'd say that.
this is number 139. What number is this? I think it's 139.
It's 139.
It's 139.
It's 139, mate. All right,
Jimmy
it's
Paul,
gonna be a great day.
Anthony Bucco.
Come on, man.
What?
Anthony Tyler.
Uh,
Let's just switch it to that.
Bo Nate.
I'm not doing Bo fucking.
Bo Nate.
No, we'll call him Fredo.
Oh,
You'll be Fredo.
let's call him. That's gonna be the name of this number 139. Let's call him Fredo.
Okay. Is it
Got a
too
problem with
soon,
that?
Chris
Got a problem with that?
Cuomo?
Got a
It's not
fucking
too
problem
soon.
with it, Fredo?
How do I have a? Why am I Fredo?
Because you're late.
You're late.
Because I'm late?
And Fredo's like
You were late.
Fredo's like the worst nickname you can give.
It's like calling a black guy the N-word.
Oh, come on,
I mean,
Chris Cuomo. It's nothing like that. It's just, as somebody who is Italian, part Italian, and worked in Italian restaurants and all that, we use it to insult each other, and it's a ball-busting thing. You're like, oh, come on, Fredo.
I'm thinking he's about to go into that. Someone that was in the involved.
No.
You know, he's
No,
like,
I'm just-
I worked in an Italian restaurant.
Hey, I worked
I'm just saying, man, bartending and all that.
I worked at the Olive Garden, motherfucker. All right, let me tell you.
I worked at some
Everybody
places.
was Fredo. We had little Fredettes. We had Fredos. We had
Chicken
Fredolinos.
Alfredo.
No, Fredo's messed up now.
All right, Fredo.
Fredo's getting stabbed in the back.
So,
You want to pour us a shot of Angel's Envy while my boys recap the fucking
That's.
epic fucking journey of your lives?
He said he
Go
wanted.
ahead.
He
Who,
wanted to do
who
the
wants to
honors.
begin this fucking tell of the
you do the
vacation?
telling of the tale.
And then we're going to
I
get
pour the
into
whiskey.
what you missed, what went down, and what almost transpired.
All right.
That's Macho Man. Don't act
Yeah,
like
I
you didn't
know
know.
it's
It's
Macho
Macho Man.
Man.
Okay, don't
All
act
right.
fucking surprised. Like it's
So
not
what
a
are we
good
doing?
Macho Man.
What'd you say?
So tell us about your trip, man.
Tell us about your trip. You you start it.
Just tell you
Nice
about
bracelet too. Is that mine?
It? No, it's not
Oh, okay,
yours.
cool.
Anything? Hold on, let me smell this.
Okay, while they're waiting for you, so we got this clown shoot coming up.
Right.
Clown shoot starting
Not
tomorrow.
shoot.
Film. Oh, we can't say shoot anymore, right? We're running out of words.
Well, no, I said shoe.
Clown
Not-
shoot. Oh,
Not
gotcha.
clown shoe. It's clown
I
shoot.
thought because shoot is now, with all the mass shootings, we're
Yeah.
like, we don't say shoot anymore.
Nah.
We call them events. We had an event. We had a senior moment. You ever hear
So-
that? Senior
No.
moments? All right, anyway. We're doing a clown shoot tomorrow. That's first day. And we've got 2 weeks. If God willing, Bo makes it every day. We are going to fucking churn this thing out.
I'm here.
September 7th is the deadline
Early.
to submit it. And then mid-September, the film festival begins. Red carpet event.
Ooh.
Red carpet. Art show going on. First prize, $1 million.
wonder how they're gonna do it.
$1 million first prize.
$1 million.
$1 million.
No,
That's what I hear. That's what I heard.
No, it's not.
Gotta
It's
look
on
that
Fox
up.
News. I don't know.
No, it's not.
All right.
Well, if it was CNN would be fake.
CNN,
news.
yeah. They're interchangeable these days for bullshit.
Pretty much.
All right. So anyway, there's that little bit
We
of
start filming
info.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So okay, man, you ready to do a shot and tell us about your fucking epic ass?
What do I say? I just start talking about
I don't know. We have not had a conversation about what you went through.
it? It was nothing.
Okay. Well, that's not going to make a great story, but can you make up some shit?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us a story about you being some dude on the beach or something. Like
No, we're not.
No. Okay.
He doesn't want to talk
I would
about
never
that.
talk about
He
that.
doesn't want to talk about that one.
I would never talk about that.
Look, we got an array of shit today. We
Oh.
have coffee. We have Angel's Envy. What is this?
Hi.
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 A little Jack Honey.
Yeah, we're not getting paid by any of these people. Maybe one
No,
day.
Maybe one day they'll be like knocking at our door going.
So
"Hey,
we
man."
all doing it at the same time?
And I'm
Or-
smoking a Romeo and
I would
Julietta's.
say do yours and give. Let's talk about the bourbon, and I'll talk about my trip if you want to talk about yours.
Yeah, because Bo
It's
is
all
he's
good.
really he's already not off to a good start.
Well, I might get him loosened up. a
Sean,
little bit.
where
All
are
right.
you?
Let me. Do I cheers?
Cheers.
Oh, I cheers to you guys, but I'm
Hey,
going.
listen, I just want to say welcome
We're
back,
gonna
guys.
hold back. Thank you. Glad to be back.
Salute. Tastes like the new Tool album. Yeah, not bad.
I like it.
You've had it before?
No, I've never had it before.
Oh, not too shabby.
It's got a little fire to it.
It does.
a
As
little
soon as you said that, I
It's
feel
got
that.
it right
Yeah.
here.
I'll tell you what it is better than fucking proper 12.
It's a little medicine-y.
Yeah,
Better than proper 12 cough
better.
syrup whiskey.
it's got a little caramelly. And a little, no, like you get that caramel, the hints of caramel in it, and a little bit of
Oh,
a little sweetness.
I like the fire in
It's
the end.
aged. It's aged in port wine barrels for like 3 to 6 months, I believe.
Nice. I would love to
After
get.
So that's pretty cool.
I would love to get a big old wine barrel, or a big old whiskey barrel for the house. You know,
To
I
do
just
what?
think they're artistic.
have
I
your
just
own
think they're
whiskey?
aesthetic pleasing on the eye. You know.
It would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think they're good looking. Okay, so who
Go
wants
ahead
to
with your
begin?
Story. Go ahead. You can go
All
ahead.
right,
Jimmy has.
so-
Are you sure? I feel like we should build up to Jimmy's because his story's so epic.
Is it?
I mean,
You're-
he went to
how do you know?
Montana. He was a grizzly bears and all
Everything
kinds of
is-
stuff. He
I
came
went
back
to the
with
beach,
gifts.
dude.
Let Bo. Let's just get through it
All right, let's
real
go,
quick
Bo.
with Bo.
Nothing
Go-
happened.
There you go. All right, Jimmy, what was your story?
So you went to North Carolina for a weekend. Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Not a fucking thing.
What would happen?
I don't know. Where'd you
Family
go?
reunion?
Yeah, a little family
How was it?
reunion.
It's good seeing
It was
everybody.
good. Seeing everybody was nice.
Had fun.
Hadn't seen anybody. Yeah, had fun.
Good job.
All right, thanks.
What beach you go to?
I thought it was Myrtle Beach when we left, but we didn't. We wound up
Any
going-
drama?
No drama.
Any hot chicks?
Exciting.
No hot chicks.
Good looking cousins? Nothing like that. You were in South Carolina.
Okay, looking cousins.
No?
What?
Age of consent.
Fight with any
cousins.
family members?
Nope.
Any fights?
No.
Nothing.
Did nothing exciting
This
whatsoever.
doesn't sound like
Just-
a real family. Like
this sound yeah. This,
Well, I haven't
gathering.
seen it.
I smell bullshit.
It had
There's
been no.
there's
I
3
didn't-
fights at every family
I
event
didn't
I've ever
fight
been
with
to.
Nobody,
But
dude.
who fought with
I
who?
went in
Tell us
looking
who
like
fought with who.
I went in. I don't know how I went in, but I just went in. You know.
I feel like you're holding back.
I'm not holding back.
I know you
I think
argued
there's
with
a
some
real
people.
story.
I know somebody tried you.
No one
Oh.
I know you had to put your hands on one of your aunts.
No one tried.
Oh,
No?
you had to
Nope.
put your hand on your aunt. That's messed up.
I never would, dude.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
No, you told me. You said
All right.
you said I knocked out about 3 of my aunts already.
I believe him. You know why?
Where's that lighter at?
Because Fredo is many things, but he wasn't a violent man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here we go. This ring.
So I
Hey,
believe him.
Fredo. You have any other details you want to add to the story there, Fredo?
There's
What
nothing.
else you do when you're up there? Did you go out to eat anywhere? Did you get some nice, like a bolognese sauce, a little tiramisu? What the fuck did you do for one fucking week?
It was
Sit there
not-
with your fucking
Yeah,
family
it was
and
not-
just sit there talking, sitting around a fucking fire or something? I don't know what the fuck you guys do over there, but it's fucked up.
That's
All
good.
right, we're back.
We didn't do anything.
See that one?
Bo, this
Martin
isn't-
Scorsese. Call me.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's really good. But Bo,
What?
I thought you had a story.
There's no story.
Apparent fucking Lee.
I know that.
Nothing?
No.
Not a funny anecdote about the drive and your grandma said something funny?
No.
Nothing. Just you didn't rehearse this at all for the podcast.
No.
Even though I said, hey, when you come back, let's talk about the stories of what you
There
went
was
through.
nothing.
You
Epic
said,
that
okay,
happened.
Dave,
Oh,
throw
man.
that out. Whoop.
Nothing epic happened.
Crash and burn. Okay.
What?
Thank you.
I didn't know I was supposed to come fucking prepared.
I thought something happened in a week. I mean,
no.
surely, I think
Something-
something did happen.
Nothing fun?
You'd be a horrible journalist. Nothing. Not even a fucking story of people that you saw, like a car accident. Nothing. No,
an
not
old
even
friend?
Not even like I saw a hot chick
I
at
don't
the
want to talk
beach.
about like my family. You know?
Oh, come on.
no,
Talk about your
no,
family.
no,
Talk
that's
about
it.
your family.
I don't want to talk about my family.
You're the one that brought him up.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, you just
I
brought him
did
up and
not.
said I want to talk about my family.
No, what? Shut the
Well,
When
reroll
the
the
hell
footage.
did I say that?
Remember you said your cousin, you almost put the hands on him?
No.
That was his aunt.
No, you didn't say
Here we
that.
go, dude.
You didn't say that. That's why he's
My
nervous.
family's
though.
watching this.
Oh,
and that's why he's not talking about it.
Okay.
I was actually surprised. One thing, I was actually
Make a
surprised.
quick cut then, and then we'll come back.
I will say this.
Fair
I will
enough.
say this. I was actually surprised. Someone in the family does watch the show secretly, and I did not know. And
Yeah.
that was cool to know. You know,
Yeah.
have like a secret fan. And
Turn
then he
that,
talked
turn
to
that
me
mic
about
just
it.
a little bit more straight on your face, if you can. However you got to turn it, I don't care.
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, having
Yeah.
like a fan that I didn't know about, and then another one of my cousins called me when we got home and the trip was over, and he had watched it for the first time, liked it.
Nice.
Thought it couldn't get through 30 seconds of some of them without laughing.
Oh, good.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I was going to say, holy
like-
shit.
I hiccuped.
That's not a good thing.
Kinda. I hiccuped. I was like, and I couldn't get it out.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Stage fright.
But yeah, that was good. That's a
good.
good part of the weekend there.
Yeah, family gave you a little bit of props for your not being a total failure. That's good. That's partial failure.
Just partial.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a failure too. We're all failures.
If we were successful, we would been doing this 10 years ago.
Yeah. And we'd still be unsuccessful, and then we could kill ourselves, speed up the process.
Just be like raging alcoholics. By now, the bottle would be here.
Yeah, I went to a gathering with some friends at a pool party, and all my friends were telling me they'd seen it and stuff, and I didn't know they watched it. So
That's cool.
kind of similar to your thing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
get
good.
people
Cool. Nice.
Get people at work talking to me about
Yeah.
it. I'm getting responses on Twitter. People retweeting saying they're watching it. So
All right. Yeah.
what we need is that film.
The film, the clown film.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be some next level stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're gonna do like a Viking shoot, and I think that'll be our fun thing. You know, I think what sets us apart is we kind of have this cinematic style and more of an artsy thing, and then I kind of, you know, as I call it, a hyper masculine gorillas in their natural atmosphere. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's how I feel it. I feel about it.
Well,
Like no guilt.
Give a heads up on the Viking one, because I got that one buddy that makes that kind of chainmail and stuff.
Absolutely.
He might have some props we can use and weapons and all kinds
Absolutely.
of crazy stuff.
I would love to shoot. I just would love to every few months. Let's do something. You know, let's plan something, and just that'll be our thing. You know.
Yeah.
That'll be the nature of the podcast. I feel like it's taken on its own form now. You know.
Yeah.
It'll be fun, and I like the way you use like little parts of it and cut scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
You know,
kinda- yeah.
between segments.
Yeah.
It works.
This is all a trial and
It's not. Yeah, it's not a.
error kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, it's not a guy on a laptop in his kitchen or anything like that. It's got some production value.
Oh
to it,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I did another version of it, and it's even better. I edited it and fixed it even more. What else? I was gonna say something about that. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Why are you smiling at me like that? Something funny?
I think the Angels.
Got something funny?
Nothing's funny, dude.
Something funny?
I'm just fucking excited, bro.
Pour me another
All right,
shot.
Fredo.
I want to fucking.
Another shot.
Hey,
Andy.
listen with this Fredo shit.
Hey, Fredo.
Fredo.
Let's pour us another shot.
Yeah, let's have another shot, Fredo.
Another shot.
Another one?
Yeah, one
Yeah.
more.
Are you sure?
Let me check
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you guys all right?
We're fine. This is-
All right now.
We're real men. We drink whiskey for breakfast, aka alcoholics.
There's yours.
If
Okay, you don't
drink-
have to pour it like so much. Let's just get a half a
That's
glass.
perfect.
No,
It's-
it's
it's a
well for
heavy
Jimmy.
shot, but it's cool.
So Jimmy,
It's yours.
God damn it, I don't want that much.
Oh my god.
That's an enormous shot.
We're men. Like 20 seconds ago.
All
We're
right.
men.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
call
yeah.
my
Oh,
bluff.
I don't want
That's
that
it.
much.
Well, fuck, I don't want to finish
Here,
it in
hold
2
on.
gulps.
Here
Like
you
a.
go. Here you go, buddy. We built the pyramids.
Okay, you done with that
Remember?
funniness there?
Remember fucking Jimmy last time?
It's-
It's like, we're men.
And then at some point he said, "Readings for fags."
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Did you want a little more or no?
No,
All right, I didn't think so.
fine, whatever.
Here we go.
All right, guys.
Bears podcast, baby.
One more.
Oh, yeah, I can do that part of it.
It tastes like
Oh, it's good.
The second one was
it
better.
tastes like I was drinking from a waterfall on some brisk mountain in Montana. You got mountains in
You
Montana?
gotta warm up to these.
Oh, Montana was gorgeous.
You know you have to warm up to the whiskeys and bourbons.
Yeah, it takes
The
it
first
takes
one?
a little time.
The first one's like, ugh.
I don't know. The first one's not.
Second one, you're warmed up. You've done a couple jogs and you've done a couple sprints. You're warm. You can go and compete. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm getting warmed up already.
Bad. I get warmed up.
It's warmed
Don't
up
make
like
me.
fucking violence that may come upon Bo's life.
You see?
'Cause that's what I'm
When
feeling.
the king sleeps, fucking take his.
Bo, don't
right.
fucking break the mic.
Take
Don't
his-
break the
take his
fucking
axe
mic.
from-
You should probably put the axe down.
All right, here you go.
Loki, put down that spear.
All right.
All right.
We're
All
going
right,
to
so where were
eventually
we?
get
Where
into
were
this.
we with this? You're
So
going on.
We've
with your-
already missed half the podcast. We've not told
Montana,
one
right?
story.
Montana, what's good?
So I went up to Montana for a week 2 weeks ago with a couple friends from work. We stayed with one of the surgeons that we work for, and nice place up there in the Bozeman area. First couple days we did some hiking and stuff like that. We checked out Fairy Lake, Usu Falls, was it Beehive, a couple other places too.
So you're a surgeon?
Yeah.
You go
that we
stay in
work
his
with.
place?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
badass.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, great guy. We really appreciate it and all that.
Dang.
But then we took a trip over to Glacier National Park in Big Fork. That was fun. That's like on the western side.
Nice.
And I was elected to drive for whatever reason. So, and that stuff doesn't freak me out. Like my dad freaks out a little bit in the mountains of like Tennessee. I had to take over when we came back from like a family trip. But is that you?
No, that's you.
Uh-oh. So anyways, so yeah, it was crazy seeing that place. It was so gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
I'll send you some pictures if you want to.
Yeah, we'll put them in the
Put
podcast.
them in the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't give you a chance to give you my DSLR before you left.
I know. I thought about it when I was on the plane. I'm like,
Fuck.
yeah. Exactly.
Oh man, I can't
We
believe
would have had a
that.
blast with that.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Stuff.
Did you take DSLR photos with yours?
No.
Of course not. Why would you? Why the fuck would you, Bo? Bring back some fucking gems for the podcast.
You know what's sad? You know what's really sad? Oh, man.
Here we go.
Damn it. So I don't know how much my aunt paid, right?
Yeah.
My aunt paid money.
Now you suddenly have a story. Now that
Yeah.
Jimmy's telling his story, you found one for yours.
I feel like, damn. I didn't know that we were doing like professional.
sorry, man.
I didn't know that we were doing professional pictures. You know what I mean? So I thought we were just going, we're going to all get some pictures on the beach, whatever.
Right.
But this freaking lady. Sorry, I feel bad I interrupted your story, dude.
It's okay.
Oh, my God.
You're living in the
It's
moment.
okay.
It's fine.
I don't want to.
It's fine, dude.
Just
I'm sorry.
Just remember, people are listening to this. Hopefully,
All right. Well,
Hope still.
anyway, so
Montana sounded great.
you hear that sound? You hear that? That's the sound of
An unsubscriber.
people. That's a sign of YouTube getting shut down.
all right. Wait.
It's a click.
But what were you gonna say?
So my aunt hired this photographer.
For the
for
family?
the- yeah.
Damn, that should have been you.
I know. I could have done.
Did you tell her you were into photography?
I didn't know. I didn't know that we were doing professional shit. Like she was hired somebody to do it.
So
I'm like,
have
I
you
would
got-
say, give me $100. I would have done it and it done it better. I've seen the pictures and they're not. I mean, they're good, but they're.
Can you give us some for the podcast?
We could have definitely fucking edited them way better and made them really, really good.
Can you get some for the podcast?
Can I get some of the photos?
Yeah, so I can throw them in there.
Yeah.
Just something, anything,
I'll
just
email
something,
you.
beach, whatever.
Would you rather have an email to your Gmail account?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do
Full file, so I can put them up in high
that.
resolution.
But shit, I don't know how much she spent, but she could have saved money and I could have took care of that. I could have said, don't even worry about it.
I
Done.
know.
These are
Over.
going to be phone photos, so they're not going to be great. Anyway, hey,
All right. Holy shit!
I promised you guys.
That's fucking even more epic than I fucking
bear
thought it was.
claw
I was picturing this little.
necklaces. They only
fucking
had
thing.
2, man, so I don't have one for you. I'm just fucking with you. Here you go.
Look at that, dude.
Is this an actual fucking?
It's not an actual bear claw. It's
Oh.
cool. Yeah. But they're badass.
Hey, thanks
though,
for calling
aren't
it out, guy.
Yeah.
They look badass.
They do.
Yeah, it's an actual bear claw. You have to wrestle it off the bear
Damn.
yourself at this
That
place
is
called
fucking epic. Thank you, man.
Dude, this
Bear-orama. They're pretty cool,
That
huh?
is fucking cool.
This. Oh man, I'm about to cry over here.
Don't grab it.
I can't put it on just yet. I'll put it on once we switch
Yeah.
to the break.
I'll put it on right now.
There you go. Look at that.
Let me get the headset.
And when people ask you where that came from, say, I ripped it out of the bear's paw all by
Yeah,
myself.
looks good on
What's
you.
that?
I was so liquored up.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I just want to wear this everywhere.
there you go.
You
That's
should.
awesome.
Just be careful you don't jump off something and fly up and hit you in the mouth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, take
Bust
it
out
off.
a tooth like
Take
that.
it off during sex.
I don't want him to lose
lot
an
of
eye.
bad shit.
Ha!
A lot of bad shit could happen.
Looks cool. Thanks,
I feel like
man.
I just got knighted.
Appreciate that. Very
I feel like I
cool.
just got knighted.
Those are badass. Those are even. I was picturing something small, and you know.
Yeah, they're
feel
cool,
like
aren't they?
fucking
I feel like
Look at
leader
that
of
thing.
the
Hilarious.
tribe right now.
And
I feel like leader of the tribe.
third one, okay,
What's the third one?
for your ma.
Oh, can I see?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she watches it sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got the same one. Okay,
yeah.
great. Okay, great.
Tetunka. What's
she-
that? What's that in
that's
fucking
There you go.
Tatanka
Tetunka? Yeah.
Tatanka.
That's Buffalo.
means white widow.
It means whale's vagina.
Dances with Wolves. Great fucking movie. Let me throw that in there.
Dances
bud.
with Wells.
Dances with Wolves.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What'd you think of it compared to
Awesome.
Highlander?
Didn't watch it yet, right?
Oh,
Why would you? Why would you watch a cult
man.
fucking classic about a
caught him off
Scottish
guard.
hero?
Fucking Jimmy, dude.
I got you guys something.
No way.
It's kind of stupid, but
Okay.
it's my way of saying a couple things here. First off, I missed you guys. It might be the whiskey talking,
It's the whiskey,
but
dude.
I missed you guys.
cut off.
All right,
We
not
missed
that I
you
didn't have a
too.
great time with Casey and Sean. Fucking funny kids.
Oh yeah.
Fucking funny. Gonna be back on all the time, man. But you know, this is my squad here. It's the OG
The OG.
that began it all right here.
Magic. Where the magic
You know what I mean? So I'm glad that Bo's back on track. We had to have a little squabble. Had to shake you. Had to knock some fucking sense into you.
What?
But you're back on track.
When the fuck did that
You know what happened. So, all right.
When
listen.
the fuck?
So, cell service sucks in Montana.
Yeah.
It's terrible up there. So I couldn't get cell service most of the time.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened.
Yeah, and I know, like, we all do like a group text where we basically make fun of Bo all day and he ignores us.
Right.
So pretty much sums it up.
True story.
And trade some cool stuff once in a while. Anyway,
Yep.
I'm getting nothing for the 3 or 4 first days I was there, and we finally were driving across the state. I go through Helena, and I guess I got cell tower service. And my phone sounded like I had a psycho girlfriend. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Where everybody in the car's like, "What the?" I'm like, just let it go, man. I'm like, it's like 3 days worth of
Yeah.
notifications, Twitter, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane.
Me and Bo were like, should we send, like, who do
Help?
we call?
Yeah, yeah.
Dog the bounty hunter?
Yeah,
like,
we were about
who
to
do we call to
hop
get
on
Do we
them?
call the
Helicopter.
Canadian Mounties? And I thought about the Instagram thing. I'm like, I'll just mess through there, you know. So that worked out.
Awesome. All right. So I want to do this at the end of the year. I'm going to do awards, but I kind of jumped the gun. I went already and I did
Oh my
them.
God, this is gonna be funny.
So this is for Jimmy. Go ahead and read that reward right there.
Certificate of Excellence. The certificate is rewarded to Jimmy Paul.
For
Maybe you have the real glasses for that part.
oh shit,
Yeah,
I should have just read it for you.
Oh my god.
there you go. For best comedic one-liners of 2000.
You know how many times I
Pride
watch
myself on those.
I watch his
one-liners.
back. Me and Bo sometimes he stays after we do like a little thing to see how they came out, you know.
Right.
And I go, look at all these fucking jokes. We missed Jimmy's one liner. He slides them in there, man. He just slides them in there.
That's it.
And I go, he doesn't get enough. But do we not say this all the time? I go, I feel bad. Like sometimes a lot of times we miss his one-liners, but we watch him back, laugh our ass off.
That's the
Like, that's
funny part,
fucking
yeah.
good.
Yep.
Like only fags read. Funny stuff. So I didn't get you one, but no,
That's fine.
I'm just kidding. All right, I got you one.
got me one?
I got you one.
All right, bro.
More to
What
come.
does this say?
Read it out loud.
Come on.
Certificate of Excellence.
Uh-huh.
This certificate is awarded to me
Uh-huh.
for strangest podcast. Strongest.
Not strangest. Okay.
It's
Mess
in
up
some
your
weird
own-
You know what the end of the year's
That's
one's going to
called
be?
cursive, yeah. Reading is fundamental.
Most illiterate member of podcast.
Strongest podcast energy of 2019. I
Next one
do,
should say,
dude.
obviously,
Yeah.
reading isn't for fags. You know,
No.
Right.
Strongest podcast energy.
Hey, you
There
know
you
what?
go.
I agree.
You bring the
Brings it
energy.
every week. Every week. It's like having a chihuahua.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
this was gonna be a joke. Like,
You notice that's the state seal of Florida. Yeah, I found that and I made sure that was on there. So it's very official.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you you're my one and only.
I have a story about almost being raped by a black gay guy the other night. I'll tell you that in a few minutes. Yeah. Pissed me off.
he let it.
No, I didn't. Maybe a little bit. Anyway.
Part of the Me Too movement
He
now.
did. He did.
God.
He like opened up to him. There's this thing in psychology that if you like open up to this person, like if you're attracted to him, you'll just naturally open up to him.
Who taught you that?
You.
Yeah. Okay.
I use.
I'll
it
use my
against him.
fucking
As long as you didn't open up
secret
in the
fucking
way
behavioral
we're
tactics on me.
afraid of.
But he like opened up to the guy.
Yeah.
You're
Opened up
such a
his
dickwad.
butthole.
I'll never confide in you again, you motherfucker.
Shut up, dude. Come on.
I have so many things that come into my mind right now that you told me in confidence.
Oh, shit.
You're about to tell a story.
Can we talk about that guy?
He's about to tell a
Can
story.
we talk about
dude.
that guy friend?
What guy friend?
The guy friend you went camping with?
Don't make up some
The
shit.
fishing camping guy?
Completely
The
improv.
fishing
The
camping
old
guy.
The old guy, right?
The guy you made have got in the water with naked.
He
You're
said it
gonna
was a-
sit there and walk that back?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He said you guys are going to be looking
Let's
for
let it
night
go, bro.
crawlers.
Let's let
Yeah.
it go.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It ain't free fucking Free Willy. Yeah, it's Free Willy.
I remember.
Free your willies in each other's ass. So, is manscaping gay?
Oh,
It's necessary.
yeah.
Right. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's necessary.
Necessary, right? Nobody wants a big fucking mangy jungle full with fucking lice, and
Whistles and shit.
ticks and whistles and
Let's find stuff in there. Like, what is
famunda
that? Is that-
cheese and
That's a piece of corn. How'd that happen?
yeah,
You're
ugh.
like, yeah.
I don't ever want to get into I don't ever want to get in a situation like that. With a
Over
girl.
his head.
Do you think that?
How much
Hey,
more
I got a question.
juvenile can this podcast get?
I got
don't
a
know.
question.
None.
I really struggle with this podcast. Hold on, Bo. Between being the most
mind.
juvenile fucking thing I can have in my life. Because listen, 99.9% of my life is overly serious.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's just cut
psychology.
loose, yeah.
I mean, even art. I mean, it's a pressure cooker, man. Everything in my fucking life is a pressure cooker.
Right.
And it's like, you know, psychology and counseling and this and that. And it's like, it's just a pressure cooker, you know? And I need something that I can sit down and be a total fucking retard on camera with and just ruin my chance at ever being a president or leader or fucking respectable person.
Hey, well, you know, we could be congressmen.
Yeah, it's true.
We
That's
just have
true.
to be. We just have to go under the Democratic ticket. You know.
Oh, come on. Jimmy always got to take shots.
That's what I
The
do.
Democrat
It's those
brothers.
one-liners.
What'd you say today? JFK, the last great.
He was the last great Democrat.
Come on, why can't you just say he's the last great president? Because you like Reagan.
I like Reagan. I like Trump.
What?
Neither
Every
of them are
fucking
perfect. Both of
conservative
them-
likes Reagan.
Reagan gave us respect again.
Who?
We were kind of in the international.
Well,
scene.
Carter was a little bit of a pussy. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and then he had the whole
I don't-
thing with
I don't
Nixon and
know.
Ford and all that. It was just, it had been a mess since Kennedy did.
Right, but he also
You know?
locked up a lot of blacks, helped
Yeah, he did. He did.
help
he
enforce
Anyone who was
privatized
against
He did a
prisons,
huge amnesty thing.
increased
that released a
taxes
lot of
11
people.
times. I looked
Anyone
it up.
who
11
was-
times he increased taxes after he said he wouldn't.
Anyone.
But he also reduced taxes, the largest they had ever been at that point. So, look, I'm
Anyone-
not saying he didn't do some good things. You know,
He
but-
jump started the economy with the Reaganomics.
I'm
and
sorry,
all
you
that.
got something you want to interrupt us
Yeah, I
again with
do.
an
I
intellectual
do.
conversation?
I do. I do actually. And I think
Okay,
it's-
go
I
on.
think it's going to be very
Go
crucial.
on, Bo.
think
I
it's
can't
gonna be
wait to
very-
hear this chestnut you've been cooking.
I think it's going to be very crucial point to this conversation.
Uh-huh.
Any president that was against the marijuana and banned the marijuana, I don't like. Yeah, because
Okay.
they.
Well, you don't like Reagan then.
100%. They 100% made it kind of the way.
That's
it is
basically
now.
every president up till Obama.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And even Obama was kind of like, well, I'm not, you
He
know,
was on. He
Yeah.
wasn't so.
he wasn't
Absolutely.
so, but he wasn't
Yeah.
for it. He
Yeah.
was still playing. You know, Obama gets a lot of shit, but I see him as the most conservative Democrat president in a long time.
Let me just say
You don't
this.
think so?
Let me
Like
just
he
say
was
this.
for the borders and like he was like for war and like, you know what I mean? Like
Well,
he was
war is
a lot of
war
things
is
that
a very democratic thing too.
Let me just-
what?
They love.
Let me just say
After
this.
the Bush administration, like I was surprised this guy
Bush
fucking
wasn't even a
didn't.
conservative,
I thought
man.
Obama
He
was
was
going
a
to come in
fucking
office
yeah.
and run away from that situation. And fucking guy within 4 years gave us Bin Laden's head supposedly. Although they gave him a burial, that'd be a great topic. How do you feel about fucking this prestige burial right that this fucking mass murderer got? Do you know about this?
No.
They gave instead of bringing Obama's body back, doing an autopsy, doing everything.
Obama.
Bin Laden.
I mean, Bin Laden.
don't come for
little,
us.
little Jungian slip there.
Oops.
Well, there are reports that Obama is Muslim, you know. So they put Osama's body on a float and burned it and sent it out to sea. So
Oh,
there's
like
really
some
no
Viking burial.
footage.
Yeah.
There's no real solid confirmation that they even got the guy.
See, isn't it terrible that you don't trust anything anymore? Like I don't trust anything.
Hey, I
anymore.
tell you what I don't trust recently.
Epstein?
I got two. That motherfucker is
Oh.
alive somewhere on a beach.
You
chilling.
psychopath.
He is chilling right
He
now.
is dead as a
No, he's
motherfucker.
not. I
They
don't
have
believe-
pictures of him.
yeah.
I don't
dead.
think he's dead.
he's not on an island.
You know the conspiracy to get him out of there alive. It's there are
Who
so
do you
many.
have to pay off?
No, Bo,
Couple
there,
people?
Bo. There's so many cameras in a New York correctional facility. It's incredible.
Federal one.
Yeah,
So you think he's dead?
He's
he
dead.
is fucking dead.
He was murdered,
His,
in
his,
my opinion.
Well, his. I was
Why
gonna
would he
lean
be
toward.
murdered?
Well, because he knew he was facing, rolling on some very powerful people.
Oh shit!
Very
talking-
powerful people.
This is like some movie
Prince
shit.
Andrew was
It-
associated
unbelievably
with him. Yeah,
powerful fucking
this,
people.
This will be a movie in about 2-3
Yeah,
years.
it's gonna be a
It'll
movie.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, it really what it did is it showed us that there was this underground sex trafficking, disgusting pedophile world
Yeah.
amongst the super elite of the world. He had his own island. He took these people, and the island was fucking fascinating. Have you ever seen pictures of it?
No.
I mean,
It's weird.
it's
got
designed like
temples.
almost Egyptian or something. It's really creepy, weird.
How do you make all of his money?
That's a questionable thing, actually.
He
very
he
questionable.
worked for. He was the finance manager for the guy that ran Victoria's Secret.
Oh.
Yeah, and
that
the
was
guy,
his
same guy that
only-
gave him the house.
Right, and he gave him the house. Right, it was like
$77 million.
Yes, crazy.
77
Oh,
million.
shit. So I
Yeah.
could see why he started preying on women. He was fucking working for Victoria's Secret.
Well, he worked. So you know our
If anything leads to that.
you know Bar, right? Our
Is that your phone? Can you throw it out the window and never come back?
oh man.
No, leave it alone. Go on. The
I
bar.
answer. I'm gonna just
Yeah, his father. Epstein worked for his father when he was like 20 years old, and the girls complained about him, said he was creepy and stuff like that. So this guy was always a creep apparently. But as soon I made a tweet a couple weeks ago like, "Hey everybody, I pray that Jeffrey Epstein is safe until he can testify." You know, because
Yeah.
I knew this would happen. I knew
Yeah.
he would die. I mean, I had zero doubt in my head. And as soon as I heard that he committed suicide, I was like, "This bullshit." You know, I can call these bullshit stories. Like there was one today about Don Lemon sticking his hand down his pants and sticking his fingers in the guy's nose, asking if he liked dick or pussy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that story I don't believe.
Don Lemon,
That-
the black guy?
Yeah, the little black gay guy
I
from
can't stand
CNN.
it. I can't
He's a
stand
little
that
twerp, but I don't see him doing that. You know what I mean? That to me, that's like
No.
that sounds like this
my God.
guy
That's such
filing
an
these
extreme-
charges is just a
Yeah.
hater. you
Character
know?
defamation.
Yeah, that's what I think on that one. But Epstein, as soon as I heard he was dead, I was like, yeah, he's murdered.
I couldn't imagine being those guards. Those
Now,
guards
I see- listen.
The guards are put on leave now.
Well,
they're
look,
like,
I think it's
They were
50-50.
asleep,
Yeah.
is what they said.
My mom worked in corrections. My uncle worked in corrections. Look, things
There's
happen.
only 2 guards?
First off, look, the guy was taken off. Here's what we know. 3 weeks ago, he was put on, he tried to kill himself, supposedly. They found him semi-unconscious on the ground with what
on
looked
his
like
neck.
marks on his neck. Not unsurprising. One successful, well-respected, super business tycoon worth $1 billion. Now he's facing 47 years and possibly can roll on the most powerful people on the planet. You know,
So there's
tries to kill himself. Now look, if this guy is not Epstein, this is not a topic.
So there's bigger
nobody's
fish than
claiming
him.
this.
Yeah, nobody
There's
cares.
bigger
This
fish
happens.
than him, though.
And I had this argument.
yeah.
I had this argument with my friend. He goes, "Well, I worked as a CEO, and that's not possible." I said, "Well, look, I have family worked in the CEO, and it is very possible. It's if you want to call it sheer negligence." At 4 in the fucking morning, people are playing on their phone. They're doing anything. They're tired. They're not watching a guy who's they consider now low risk because he hasn't done anything. He's
And he's
sleeping.
asleep.
He's asleep. He fucking wakes up or he pretends to sleep. He makes the whatever he did with whether it's toilet paper or whatever the hell he shared. You can actually make nooses and things like that with the toilet paper. All you really need to do is sort of pass out, and if you have enough time, you can execute yourself with ligature.
Would that be slow and painful?
No, actually, it's
pass
not.
out.
You pass out.
Yeah.
And then you just keep it there, and
And even if
wind up dying.
if you don't die, you're brain dead after several
Yeah.
minutes usually.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but like,
So I think it is highly possible that he could have under just sheer negligence. Then the second theory was CEOs saw him and did nothing. Now the third theory is they saw him and did nothing. Because he's a fucking
paid
piece
off.
of shit. No, this guy's a piece of shit. Look, you see a guy, this fucking billionaire, who you're thinking is probably going to get off on these charges, and he's killing himself, and you go, look over here. Fuck that guy. Fuck this little guy. Fuck 13-year-olds. Held him as sex slaves on his little secret weirdo island. Maybe he turned his
It's
head.
like the movie Taken.
Now, the second thing is maybe somebody paid the CEOs to fucking turn their heads.
Yeah, that's what I think.
yeah, that's a possibility.
That's what I think.
Then it goes up the ladder and you look at it. Now, I don't rule out the idea and the possibility that this guy had fucking dirt on the most powerful people on the planet.
Yeah.
Did somebody pay somebody to fuck him up? That's a very distinct possibility. What I did was I wanted to hear more evidence. I wanted to know if there was a camera in the cell. What did they see? What did they hear? What was going on? I wanted to hear some more because first thing, everything flooded Facebook was the Clintons did it.
Yeah,
And I
that was
said,
the
"Okay,
first
guys,
thing
the
everybody said.
Clintons?"
Why?
Because Bill Clinton flew with him like 26 times on his fucking jet.
Oh my
Clintons
God.
have
Bill Clinton's a fucking
and they have a
sexual
history
deviant.
of people dying around them.
Yeah, they do.
They've got a history of people dying.
I don't think Hillary's so much involved in that. I think she's like on the outskirts of it, but who knows, But Bill,
You think Bill is in his fucking room just giving the order to fucking execute somebody? And someone
I'm
going
not
out
going to
and
say yes to that.
but I not in this case. This is my opinion. Is I don't think Bill
this
had
was a
Epstein
Clinton
killed
thing.
necessarily. Now, if they came out in 2 months and they find out he did, I'm not going to be shocked either.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not one of those things you go, no way. It's like, probably.
There's too many. There's too many players involved. You got people. I think top French businessman, who was a
Maxwell and
government guy.
I mean, you're
Prince
talking about
Andrew.
prime ministers.
Who knows
Big
what actors
players.
and singers are in there? What
Big
big names
players,
and
Bo.
directors and all that. He could bring down
Bo.
politicians. Think of the politicians. that
Not
are
just
in there.
senators.
These motherfuckers
Prime
are
fucking
running,
ministers.
These motherfuckers are running things.
And
around.
here's the thing about it too, men want to fuck beautiful women, right?
Not 13,
we can all agree with that.
Not 13-year-old.
Well, hold on now.
That's not a woman.
Actually, by science, 16 is regarded as like the most supulous age, if that's a word.
So he says it's supulous.
Google, dictionary.com.
Well, because of
supulous,
sheer
what is
DNA and nature, a 16 is like the most pure. She's ready to bear children. She's like, nature-wise, she's like the best prospect for carrying your DNA on. So that I mean, we've seen Animal Kingdom and stuff. They don't go after the old apes; they go after the young ones. A lot of fucking child fucking and apes. And now, I'm not saying I go that way. Obviously, not. But no, seriously, I think that's
Disclaimer.
gross. That's completely gross. No question. A 16-year-old and anything under 16 just becomes like, to me, like
Vile.
I want to tie you up and like put electrodes on your balls and dick and torture you and make blow you and stuff. I'm kind of for torture. I got some fucked up
Wow, you got
policies,
some
and we'll get into
evilness
that
in
in
you,
another
man.
podcast. But
Yeah.
I think there are crimes that are so heinous that I go, maybe let the family in the cell for 10 minutes and then call it a day.
Give
You
them
know,
all a stick.
just tie him up and let the family, like a guy who like rapes and murders like a family's child or something. Like, how about we tie him up? We have a fucking like a saw desk over here with like different weapons
Like the
and
movie
like
Hostel.
this thing right here, and it's like you got 10 minutes, go. Whatever you do in 10 minutes, that's it. Or remember that old like shopping show where like you had the cart and it's like
yeah.
you got 2 minutes, go, and they run down the
Man.
just whatever you can do, stick it up his wee hole, whatever, just fucking torture him. I'm kind of for that, man, but because I think death is too sweet, it's too freeing, too innocent.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
You close your eyes and you're out of it. That's not enough. That person suffered, So, but anyway, Epstein was a fucking monster.
He
of
was a
great
monster.
proportions,
Can't believe
and
it.
it's
I
not
saw-
unbelievable he could kill himself. That's all I'm saying.
But did you hear the other? Did you hear the other stuff? The cameras weren't working.
Well, I looked into that, and apparently, unless some new stuff came out, that's all speculative yet.
That's speculative.
Yeah.
Because I think back to the Vegas shooting and how the cameras weren't working there, all the footage.
Wait, are you
disappeared.
thinking the Vegas shooting was a inside job too?
Oh, that's another night.
I mean, that guy was a fucking maniac.
That's another night. Yeah.
All right.
I'll show you some footage and shit. It's interesting. But yeah, the camera wasn't working or whatever. That's speculative right now. Guards fell asleep. They removed his cellmate a day or two before,
He was taken off suicide watch,
and he was taken off suicide.
so that
watch.
was the other thing. People didn't
And
know that.
his list was just getting published, I believe. His black book or whatever you want to call it was just getting published. So all these things happened at once. And maybe a name in a book isn't enough if they can't get the testimony to explain things. If
Well, also,
it's
that
not-
was reading that you can lock all that stuff back. It gets kind of like under laws. A lot of that stuff gets suppressed.
Does it really?
Yeah. So
Okay,
there's
so,
one for
yeah,
your
there you
conspiracy
go.
guys. It's
Yeah.
like that shit now may be suppressed for another 20 years.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
We got the wrong people in places that.
well,
they shouldn't be.
corruption.
It's just
everywhere,
unbelievable,
man.
man.
It's
just
Oh,
despicable.
I got off on a tangent real quick, but the point I was getting at, these guys are so powerful. I said, if you're someone like Epstein, you can make this island. You can have your little rich buddies like Clinton, everybody fucking fly out. You can buy, I mean, there was more than Clinton. There was prime ministers and who knows. Maybe even Trump was there.
Probably Rosie O'Donnell.
Maybe even Trump.
Look, Trump had pictures with this guy around that time and shit.
Really?
Now, he barred him from Mar-a-Lago, right? Isn't that what the place is
He
called?
barred him
Mar-a-Lago?
from Mar-a-Lago. He flew them once a long time
Yeah.
ago, but then they had a falling out because he was messing with a young girl at Mar-a-Lago.
Is
so
that
they
what it
fired
is?
him.
I don't know. I mean, there's
That's-
conspiracies
yeah.
on both sides.
Oh,
Like
yeah, there
maybe
are.
Trump was covering his ass. I don't know. Trump does like him young, and he likes beautiful young girls. He has an affinity for beautiful fucking women. So I'm not going to go out there and put that
Yeah.
out there because the president and everything, but but I'm not going to rule it out. But look, I mean, if you can't rule out fucking prime ministers, I mean, nobody's safe in
Nobody
this
is
thing.
safe until
I think
that.
that's what, if anything, it showed that powerful people. This is what my point was. They could go out to the island. They could find 10 beautiful, just turned 18-year-old supermodels that they give X amount of dollars for, and they say, we're creepy old men. We just want to do sexual things to you, all 10 of you. You know, line you up in a circle like the human centipede and let us pee on you. Whatever the fuck it is that they want to do.
If everybody is fucking smoking marijuana and not drinking alcohol as much,
There'd probably be less
different
fights.
world.
There'll be a lot of less violence, and there'll be a lot of more cooler
Lot
people,
less
a lot more
violence.
open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Typically,
Also,
I don't
another
like
thing-
the idea of just more drugs as a solution to
Also, another
problems,
thing.
but
That's exactly what I was going to lead into. There's this. I was cooking food the other day, and my grandma, she's hard of hearing, so she has the TV loud as shit in the other room.
Playing
Loud
Jeopardy?
as shit. No, it's probably Jeopardy or Family Feud or something.
Yeah.
She watches those,
It's like grandma shows.
and then I hear this. What's that fucking? Fuck. Ray Liotta.
Okay.
What's
yeah,
the
yeah.
commercial Ray Liotta does?
Xantex.
Xantex.
Is that it?
Xantex. Well, this commercial wasn't with Ray Liotta. I love Ray Liotta, and his commercials are funny. But
You ever seen
Hear that,
Striking
Ray?
Distance?
no,
Okay.
God damn it.
no. But anyway,
Goodfellas.
yeah, I've seen
Oh,
Goodfellas.
thank God.
Thank God.
Anyway, this commercial comes on, right? And it's either this duck or this goose or something.
Affleck.
And and it's
You need
like
the Affleck duck.
it's someone talking about what is it? Chantix?
Yeah, Chantix.
Chantix.
I saw
It's someone talking about Chantix, right? And they're saying, "Oh, quit smoking the natural way," or some, like
Right.
they're just saying all this
Take
shit.
a pill.
And it's a video. Take
natural
this
way.
pill. Yeah, take this pill. It's a video of this fucking duck or goose driving around, and the goose is like us apparently, and he's like walking in his house. Well, we're so stupid. We are so stupid as a fucking. Everybody is so dumb as a human race because they go quit this. And then they speed up. Oh, it may cause suicidal thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Suicide may do that. You may do this. Consult
Your
a
asshole
doctor.
might explode.
Consult the doctor if you
Yeah.
fucking. And we're just like, and then you know how I saw it happen. I saw it fucking work the way they wanted it to work. I saw it work right before my eyes. I walked out there. I looked at my grandma and she goes, "You see that duck?"
Ha! You're like, Grandma, did you see the part where his
Yeah.
asshole might explode and his head could
I was like, "Are you fucking serious right
fall
now?"
off?
Oh man, how come there's no like awesome side effects? Like might make you fly, or you can read
Yeah.
the future.
Might
No, but
increase
here's my
brain
thing.
power.
Oh.
Here's my thing. Do you think that years and years of that
Prolonged erections.
we have actually caused these shootings?
Yeah, I think we're overly
Years and
medicated.
years
I think
of-
we are overly medicated.
Years and
as
years
a
of here. Take this for
population.
this, but it may cause that because and then you're going to do this. But
Well,
you didn't
sure.
think you were going to do that.
Well, sure. Look, let's look at benzodiazepines, right? These are drugs that reduce fear and anxiety.
Right.
Well, fear and anxiety is good. Fear is an indicator in your life when you're completely bullshitting yourself on everything else. It's a reminder. Nature, I call it nature's insurance, evolutionary insurance that says, like, hey, you're not listening. I'm trying to tell you, you're fucking up.
Don't
Here,
do
let
that.
me let me give you a panic attack. Now you listening? So it's like anxiety is good to a point. It helps us realize when we're not aligned to the way we should be living.
Yeah.
And depression, and it's like a depression can make you blank. It could take away. It can just make you live in a gray sort of a disconnected, disassociated, we call derealization. And you can just feel disconnected. You could just feel like it's not real. And then you have no fear on top of that. So if you're on both of the drugs or, so can psychotropic drugs have an effect? Absolutely.
100%. And these are man-made pills given to us for certain reasons.
But here's the problem, though. In itself, they do so much good. It's hard to justify getting rid of them solely on the fact that these things could lead to these things, these mass shootings or such.
Really?
But what is a real argument is, well, if we don't get rid of them, is there a way to reduce collateral damage? And yes, I mean, I think a lot of young people don't need to be on serious antipsychotics and antidepressants and stuff. I mean, we're just doping kids up because it's the easier, convenient, cost-effective thing to do.
No, it's because someone's trying to make $1.
Well,
It's
not only
just-
that, but I'll tell you my thought of it is that It's a direct result of the destruction of the nuclear family, because you used to have mom and dad together all the time for the most part, raising a family together. So mom was there in the afternoon. She didn't have to work. We're talking to June Cleaver days and all that. And even up into the 70s, you know, and really probably started changing a lot in the 80s. But before then, it was already in motion. But parents would be there for kids. They'd be engaged in their lives and all that. Now you got single parents raising kids, and they're flipping back and forth between mom and dad every other weekend, and mom's working 2 jobs to make ends meet, and blah,
That's
blah,
certainly
blah.
a factor.
And Johnny feels depressed and alienated because, you know, mom's not there, and he only sees dad every other weekend. So he tells his mom some weird shit, or she catches him on the internet talking about suicide and stuff like that. And then they put him on medicine. They don't address the problem. Like, if he had people in his life that, I won't say they don't care about him, but they don't have the time to dedicate to him, then, you know, yes. And then, you know, and people talk about, well, video games, all that. That's bull. I've killed more people in cancer in video games.
insane,
It's stupid. But to a kid like that, maybe it has an impact. You know what I mean?
Wow. What do you mean?
No. I'm just
Where
saying.
are you going with this?
I'm saying, as far as desensitizing goes, you don't know how it affects different people. Like, if you have if you're a balanced individual, it doesn't do a damn thing to you.
Think about this.
It's like
I
in
mean,
the
think
80s,
about
they
this.
said
Maybe there's a
Ozzy made
sm-
people kill
about
themselves.
this.
But no,
We didn't.
you might have a point there. I wouldn't completely ignore it, but not to a point like the antidepressants that you couldn't justify getting rid of antidepressants.
Combine the two.
Or getting rid of the... Well, here's the thing, though.
Combine the two, though. Combine the drugs, that feeling of not having fear, and the feeling of it not being real, and then the motherfuckers on Grand Theft Auto mowing people down.
You know, you got that, and then you also
Combine
have...
the
But there
two.
hasn't been no correlation. They haven't done
I know, but
studies
there's no
that come
correlation.
out
There's no
to
correlation.
go,
I'm not saying
these
it.
guys are all
Just
heavy in
combine
Call
the
of
two
Duty,
is all,
you know?
is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Combine the two. Maybe there is a factor
I
in
don't
just
know.
like...
I mean, they've done,
I
for
think
20 years, they've done studies,
Oh.
and it's been, you know,
I think it's
inconclusive.
inconclusive,
But
but
these
I'm
kids are now
sure it
more
has an
vulnerable.
impact here and there, you know.
These kids are more vulnerable now, I feel.
Maybe.
I
After
feel like
kid-
it could correlate
now-
something.
Maybe.
And
You know,
also
so-
the virtual reality shit. They
That's
could fucking
weird.
play Grand Theft Auto fucking like this.
But the president's even
You know what I'm
bringing
saying?
it up
Yeah.
to me was...
I don't believe it needs to be addressed.
to me, it was like, no, Trump, don't.
No. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Now it's the fact that he's misrepresenting your immigration policy and running with this wild narrative, which was, I'm talking about the El Paso shooter, which based his shooting on this book called The Great... you remember the book? He read a book. It was
Yeah.
called The Great Replacement, I think it
Yeah,
was.
the Great Replacement.
And it was written by a professor. It wasn't intended to be racist or anything. It was about the Muslim invasion of Europe. And, well, look, there's something to be said about that. Well, he sort of extended that to the Mexicans, which is very different. I mean, on a scholarly level, very different than a theocracy way of life, you know, that is Sharia law. And what we see in Europe versus Mexicans largely fleeing a fucking
ethnicity.
corrupt country. Yeah, it's very different. And so this kid was very misguided. And, you know, there's a lot of problems here that this kid was facing, obviously.
Right.
And to me, it was like, it was just a bad response to that thing, man, to say video games like Trump. Come on.
Yeah, that was dumb.
You need... This is why, look, I know a lot of people don't like Obama, and I didn't like a lot of what Obama did. I thought some of his military tactics, like the drone strikes on children and shit, was just disgusting. I thought his Obamacare was just an epic failure.
That was a failure.
You know? But at least he was a guy that I felt like superficially was a good face for the country. You know? Partially because he was black. He did have that thing going. He was a black guy. The other region of the world that's non-white, he was kind of like, he got a little bit of a pass. Like they listened to him a little more. It showed that we had evolved to a point where we were no longer quote unquote racist by the other world, that, hey, look, we have a black leader. You know, he was well spoken. He was I think, was he Harvard educated? He was
so, yeah.
he was
Law-
a lawyer.
he's a lawyer.
He was very diplomatic. He wasn't overly liberal. I mean, to the fact that he actually, a lot of people don't realize, but Obama, he was funding and promoting stiffer immigration laws and building the wall. In fact, they've used fucking quotes by the guy.
That's the craziest thing, is even, you know, Chuck Schumer and all those guys supported it back then. And now because Trump...
Well, that's what I'm
wants it, they
saying.
don't
A lot
want
of
it.
things
It's so
came
stupid.
up,
Yeah.
and there was Trump saying the same things as Obama saying the same thing as Trump, and people were like, "Well, how are you pissed off if he's saying the same thing?" But so I thought it was good. I go, look, well then listen to him.
Yeah.
Democrats, you loved Obama. Listen to what he's saying. He's saying this is an issue here that we need to address. You know. So my point is that he wasn't one of these. Huh?
He built the cages.
He built the
in the
cages,
detention
exactly.
centers.
So
I mean,
exactly.
It's yeah.
He got Bin Laden. Everybody said he was this crazy Muslim. There's always the conspiracy theories. He went out and killed Bin Laden. I mean, he did pull us out of a huge fucking economic crisis that Bush had put us in. I think anybody coming after, the country was in a shit shape after Bush.
Well, it didn't get good till the last couple of years.
Shit. Yeah, toward his end of his
the immediate.
Yeah, the immediate.
The immediate pullout.
Yeah. And look, I'm just saying he did some good things, for the you love or hate the guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I was going with that, but
that thing you sent us today with the JFK.
Yeah.
And he said, what was it? What was the quote?
It was something to the effect of, it's not about Democrat or Republican, but basically how who is most effective as a leader. Like we should be looking at the leader
best serve the country.
So
then why aren't we who implemented?
Because identity politics is so fucking strong right now.
Implemented it
and every one of us at this table feels it.
It had to have been at the start. Someone said, "Okay, we're going to divide," because in order to conquer, you have to divide and conquer. So they divided them into Democrats and Republicans. So now there's always going to be battle. Instead of someone in the beginning, whenever we wrote everything, like that, and someone going, "Wow, okay, why don't we just all agree on certain things?" Having a leader instead of dividing. When did the parties start? You know what I mean? As soon as it happened, when we wrote it up, we wrote in Republicans, Democrats.
Well, the parties have changed, dude. I mean,
you had the Whigs and all that in the beginning. Like, politics has always been a thing with humanity. Once you got out of the tribe setup and you began to form towns and all that, you had politics. You had somebody had to run the town, somebody had to do this, somebody had to do that, and governments were created and they got bigger as nations got bigger. And
I don't agree. I don't agree with governments, man. I don't. I think that it's
doing the best it can, though. I know. I don't think the government is inherently evil. It's just trying to look. You got
too many bad people around.
You got a personality A and B.
Too corrupt.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. But
in this country, you got personality A and B, and neither is necessarily wrong. Like I don't look at conservatives like they're evil. I don't look at liberals like they're evil. It's just these guys see it from this angle. These guys see it from this angle. These guys want to live this way. These guys. And so now the trouble is, how do we make everybody live in harmony and be okay? How do we find a middle ground? And we've all been fighting for Middle Earth for fucking 200 years, essentially.
See, we might be seeing, hopefully, the creation of a third party here.
I hope so,
because
too.
the Democratic Socialist, DSA or whatever.
Just scrap the shit altogether.
Those guys are idiots. But they're kind of fracturing that Democratic Party, and those Democrats that are kind of in the more toward the center, and Republicans that are more toward the center, because Trump isn't overly conservative. He's not a hardline.
He really isn't. Here's the thing about Trump.
But
what's what annoys me about him a little bit, if I can be honest, is I've been following Trump for 10 years on Howard Stern.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was a Democrat.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
He was a fucking. Did you know that?
No.
You go back and listen to his interviews. He was a fucking Democrat. And so when in fact, I believe there's a quote going around before he ran, and he was saying, kind of joking, like if I ran, I'd run as a Republican because those guys.
That's a fake quote.
Is that a fake quote?
Yeah, that's fake. Yeah.
I feel like I heard him say that.
No. No, they printed it up to look like it was in a magazine, like People or something like that.
But it makes sense because he's not a church guy. He's not a religious guy. He fucking bought his beautiful wife from another country. You know what I mean? Like he'd served money his whole life. He is not a spiritual man by any fucking stretch of the imagination. He's not a spiritual guy.
He's a businessman.
He's a business guy.
And he
like him or hate him.
He's almost leading a new party in a way, because he's not really like the rhinos, they call them, the Republicans and Amoli and all that. A lot of the old school Republicans just fought him like crazy. They're finally either retiring or falling in line and starting to support him a little bit. But he had it from everybody.
I think he's pandering to them with the race thing a little bit.
Yeah, he's
right.
He's like very imperfect. And this whole red flag law thing. I mean, he's at a point now where he stands a chance of losing that re-election.
I think so. Yeah,
and that's what they've been trying to do to him is throw crisis after crisis at him.
Bernie's gonna fuck around and get up in there.
I like Bernie.
I love Bernie.
Dude, did you see him on Joe Rogan?
He'll get destroyed.
Did you watch Joe Rogan?
He will get destroyed, but you got
to watch
Jimmy. You got to please watch him on Rogan and come back next week and tell us what you think.
Please, just go in.
I really want to know because
just open up that mind.
Because look, I was
open up that mind.
I was anti-Bernie for a while because all I heard was he's communist, socialist, this and that. He got stupid policies. He's going to take money from our increase taxes. I heard all these things, and I'm guilty of not looking deep enough into this guy. He came on Rogan. He starts talking about everything very clearly, and I go, I agree with everything he's fucking saying.
No, please, Jimmy. Please.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, because I want to know. I'm still looking into this guy, and like, was he bullshitting Rogan? And I'm reading the comments, and people are saying, yeah, this is what he stands for. This is what he's always stood for. And I go, well, this isn't what I'm told. I was told he was like this fucking communist crazy guy. Did you know what his tax plan is to get rid of education? I mean, tuition and all that?
What is his tax plan?
He what was it? He was going to tax a certain. Damn, I'm a little foggy on this. He was going to tax something to do with stock trading amongst the one percenters essentially. And he was talking about and so he's talking about taxing something that wasn't taxed that would only affect like super billionaires, which wasn't a lot of money. And Joe goes, "How much money are we talking?" He goes, "Less than 1%, 0.05, 0.04 of 1%." And he goes, "We could pay for so much stuff with that." And I thought, that's fucking brilliant, man, because they tax everything.
Yeah.
Fucking everything. Why isn't this? And I don't. This is where I'm foggy because I almost didn't want to bring it up because I don't know a lot about stock and everything. But from what he explained, I guess there's some area of stock trading that doesn't get taxed. And he's like, look, these big billionaires are trading this shit every day. Why are we not taxing it?
I tell you
but what does it hurt? What does it hurt?
I'm just saying, it's because it never ends.
What do you mean?
They'll just keep taxing more and more stuff.
Why
like
do you care? We're talking about guys that make over $500 million a year.
It's not going to end with them.
We're talking about,
I know,
Jimmy, we're talking about guys that make $500 million a year that take their companies over to Mexico and India to pay fucking poor people $2 an hour
You know what's
to
so
outsource
sad?
jobs. Fuck these people.
You know what's
they
so
should.
sad?
They're getting out of fucking billions and trillions of dollars of taxes. Shouldn't we hold them to something?
You know what's so sad about us as United States? It's so fucking.
I want Jimmy
sad.
to answer that, by the way, because he knows these things.
Okay, well then
He
go ahead
drinks and
answer.
knows things. That's what he
I
does.
drink and I know things.
Do you want me to? Do you want to
Finish
answer
your
it?
story.
We live. Yeah, you please answer that though, because he asked.
Yeah, well.
And I don't want to be like responsible later for you not answering.
You won't be. I have an answer.
All right.
Oh, I just want to know.
I just want to hear this fucking story.
I just think that we've built our whole entire system off of like getting someone below us to buy something from us. You know what I mean? So now we don't give a fuck about anyone down here. The people at the top, we saw it with that Virginia shit I sent you. Remember that Virginia shit where they knew the shit was polluted, the Teflon?
Right.
And they wound up poisoning the water and just, like, they knew it too. They knew that this shit was killing rats. You know? Please look that up. It's called The Devil We Know on YouTube. And it's like literally corrupt individuals
Wow.
polluting an area.
Corporations don't care about people. They care about money.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Nike
but the
or
thing
any
is,
of these
is
people.
that we have these people running our country. These people are running our country.
Special interest
These
groups.
motherfuckers are running the country. We don't need them in there. We need people that are enlightened and care about the well-being of the human race.
Well, I think
And, like,
Republicans
the health-
and Democrats both agree, to some degree, what I understand, that they don't like lobbyists too much.
Everything's
Yeah.
a fucking
Because
business.
they can work against each party. It's
Lobbies
not
have
great.
destroyed politics in a lot of ways, you know?
It sucks, man.
So Jimmy, going back to that,
Okay.
that seems like a pretty good. Now I know you have a lot of problems with Bernie, and I want to know because look, I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want to know. I'm looking at it like if I'm a a guy in the market of buying a car, and I got two car salesmen selling me. One's the blue car, one's the red car. I'm just trying to look at it like, okay, I want to hear both of these guys out, you know, because this guy's going to smear this guy. That seemed like a pretty good. I mean, it's hard to have this conversation because I feel like I told Bo we should have had you listen to it, just that one clip.
I really want-
We dropped the
Yeah,
ball
yeah.
on it because I would have
Sorry.
wanted to hear what you
I
knew
know
about
that
this.
Well, I can watch it next. We could talk about it next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
but
let's get
my
back into
initial-
it, but it
my
seemed
initial
pretty-
thought is that with government, it's always another tax. And sometimes they'll say it's like a temporary tax. Like, we're going to tax you, you know, 0.5% for 5 years to build a new stadium or whatever. But it seems like those taxes never go away.
Fair enough.
They always stay.
Fair enough. But
And
what
they
if
won't
these
stop. I
But
don't
what if
think
these
they would
taxes
stop.
only affected people that made over $500 million
Yeah,
a
but
year?
the thing is,
Wouldn't that be good for the country?
wouldn't even
It would
know
be
the
great
fucking
for the
difference.
country in thery, but it wouldn't stop there. It would continue.
Come on with your
Where would
fucking
it
give an
go?
inch, take a mile
This is-
law.
Where would it go?
Historically, what's happening?
Where else would it go?
But
know,
don't
then
you
they
believe
do
in
the
checks and
next-
balances?
I do believe in checks and balances, but I can't stand a government that just wants to take
Do you
money
think education
and
should be
throw it
free?
at problems. No, I don't think education should be.
You
don't
think
think
it
it
should be at
should be
least
free?
affordable? at the
I
very
mean, it
least?
should be affordable.
$300
Hell,
textbook,
it's
$100,000
it's-
degrees
no,
for the bachelor
it's
degree?
disgusting. The
It's
cost
fucking-
of it.
You know that Bernie was talking about on there how he met like some students that were studying to be doctors, and they come out of college, they have a job, but $400,000 in debt.
And he said these people.
400,000.
Hold on. Here's the best part. He said they were retiring, and having their retirement funds trimmed because of student debt they still owned. That's how
That's
much debt it
crazy.
was.
It's crazy.
That's disgusting. He goes,
It's
look,
crazy.
we're telling people go to school, follow your dreams, become leaders. Because school's hard, man.
Yeah.
Look, first off, it's
Yeah.
not just an easy ride. Even if it was free, like people think if being a fucking lawyer or a medical doctor was free, it would be easier. It's fucking hard. Anybody who's ever taken an anatomy and physiology course, entry course in college associate level, knows how fucking hard it is. That's not to say what an MD goes through. I mean, I've seen the fucking valley, man. It is fucking unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, so it's like we're gonna run out of people, and what we're seeing is like a healthcare shortage. Now they're like going, well, we can't afford. Even in medical doctors, they're going from psychiatry now to ARNPs. They're going to a 6-year degree instead of a 15-year degree. Yeah. Well, what's the risk there? A lot, actually.
Huge, I'm sure,
yeah.
Man. Oh my God.
So it's like, well, how are we going to have people go into school and do these things if we're not making it possible for them? It just
the system is broken. I mean,
we have to do something, right?
There are so many broken systems in this country.
And why isn't Trump doing anything about this?
There's
I mean, what is the conservative answer?
This is what I got to
this?
say.
You know,
hey, let me say this. Don't let us roll up in the White House and start changing shit.
You know,
don't let us get up in there.
I just want to know, what's the conservative answer to it?
My thoughts on it is, if education was free, it would have no real value then, because anybody could do anything. You could
but we would have
but you would have to pass standards.
We would
you'd have to pass
just because Bo could go into psychology doesn't mean he's going to pass 8 years of rigorous scholarly training.
But he could.
What does that mean?
Well,
then I'd be educated enough to
No. But what I'm saying is, because all three of us could go for the same degree and all that. No matter it just wouldn't have value if it's free. If something's free, it has no value. If BMWs are free, everybody have a BMW. And it'd be like nothing nice about having a BMW anymore. Like, every other
but Jimmy, that's like if you could just go to car lot and go, give me a BMW. But to go, hey Jimmy, I want you to go to school for 12 years. You're going to be
right. I mean, I understand.
We're not going to pay you. It'll be free,
but
you're not going to be able to work. You're going to dedicate yourself. Listen, man, even free, right? Even as like these people that go to school, it's free in the meantime because they're collecting debt. And as someone that's gone through it, it's a hard life, man. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many parties and gatherings and nights I've left not sleeping. Like, it's a stress level that's fucking unbelievable. And will people do that just because they can? I think a lot of people won't. But also, we have a shortage of people. So it's like, if we don't make... See, I'm not like when these guys say education necessarily should be free. I think looking at America, we're so wealthy, I kind of go, why can't it be free? But if at the very least, $300 fucking textbooks and $100,000 degrees for a 4-year degree, it's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
It's out of control.
There's no reason. And then you buy
capitalism run them up.
And
it's designed for the upper class
to make money.
It's designed for the upper class to stay the upper class. Mm-hmm. You know, because now I have money, so I can send little Billy here to a 4-year.
Let me tell you about the old days.
Boom. If you're a mechanic, you can't send your kid to law school.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part.
Exactly.
Jimmy, tell him about the old days of college.
You used to be able to send your
Tell this young buck about the old days of colleges.
Yeah. What?
When there was only, a handful of colleges in the country.
It's like 4.
Oh, yeah, and they were segregated.
Yeah.
Not just segregated. The wealthiest people could only afford to have their people. So at one point in this country, only the wealthiest people were literate, dude.
See, that's why I go back to who started it. Someone started it with the wrong idea.
Here's the thing. We
started it with the wrong idea.
Let me stop you there. It's not that someone necessarily came in with this evil plot.
No, not evil.
A lot of
just
shit.
Just not thinking as a whole.
Here's the thing. One of my good friends, Chet Sari, is an artist, amazing fucking artist, brilliant guy. He said, Dave, he told me one day, he said, it's not so much that there's some crazy guy flying a plane. If you look at the country like a plane, right? And we're all in the back and there's a pilot. The president's a pilot. It's not necessarily there's just some bad guy, he's flying the plane, he's going to crash it in a mountain. He said, the fucking real scary thing is there's no one flying the plane. You know what I mean? Like, the system now has taken over. There's no one flying this fucking plane.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it and look at things, that's the scarier thing. Even with the president, he's like a puppet. There's so much that's out of his hands to change, and there's so much that's the plane's already flying, man. Yeah. So if it crashes, we can make the president the fall guy, but...
I mean, we've designed a good system of checks and balances between the different branches,
And not really.
It's been abused, but it's a good system because it doesn't allow one branch absolute power. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's a divide and conquer tactic.
Well, not that part, because they each work with the law different ways. Somebody creates it, somebody enforces it, blah blah blah. That's a good system, but like throughout history, there's always been the elites. You look at the ancient Romans and the Caesars and the decadence in the Roman Empire. Look at the way the pharaohs lived, and when they would die, they would kill all their animals and their servants and all that, and mummify them so they could go with them into the afterworld. Hey, imagine that. You show up to work, hey, the boss is dead. You're like, shit, all right, where do I go? So we've always had that elitist class. And it extends here into modern times in America with the politicians. Look how many political families there are. You know, you got your Kennedy families, your Bush's families, and look how they intertwine with the Hollywood. You know what I mean? You'll see a lot of that intertwined there, whether it's through marriage or somebody's son or cousin, whatever, goes into politics or it goes into Hollywood. It's a very incestuous type setup where you do have this elite class, and you got this guy like Epstein servicing them like that.
Right.
You know, it's gnarly. It's
scary,
bad.
man. It's scary. Because I've never looked at politics ever.
Yeah,
really. I never really looked at them.
Well,
like look into the Bilderberg group one day and read about that. Have you guys read about that?
a little bit.
Yeah, read up on that, and then we'll talk on that in a couple weeks because I'll find a good link to something for you guys, and you'll be like a little weirded out by some of the stuff that goes on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the education thing? What do you think the solution is?
Well, the solution.
Reduce costs? Do we cap it? Do we do something to let schools not charge quite so much?
I think it's ridiculous for schools to charge that much. I don't know if it's the teachers' unions that have them getting paid so much that they can't afford it, if it's just plain greed.
It's not so much the
But,
teachers. I talk to these
they
people.
don't
It's not
make
the
a ton.
teachers, dude. I got a friend who's a
like
professor.
You mentioned $300 textbooks, right? So I buy a textbook for $300 brand new. I use it for my semester.
3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months. I resell it for what, $50?
$50.
Maybe.
They return around. They sell it for $250.
Then they sell it for $250
Yeah.
the next year.
Yeah.
Then they give them $50, and then the third year, and
great
then all of a
racket.
sudden they have a new one.
Great fucking
After
racket.
what, 3 years roughly? You know?
Yeah.
Plus then you have the workbook
That's right.
and all
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
It's a very big racket.
It's almost like the mafia created it.
That's just the textbooks. I mean, then they find every year you would find these little hidden costs, computer fees, blah 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 fees.
You're
$500
parking, you're
here,
on the
$1,000
dorm,
here.
your gym
But
membership.
they're not giving that to the
this, you're there.
teachers, though. It's not like they're
No.
collecting all this shit
Listen,
and the
listen.
teachers are getting paid.
No, the universities are.
Say you want to be a professor. You just believe in education. Now, most professors, universities aren't going to hire a PhD, as should they, I think. Those are the top quality,
Yeah.
So you go for a PhD. This guy wrote a dissertation. Maybe you're in political science. Maybe you're in English. You wrote a dissertation. You spent anywhere from 10 to 13 to 15 years going to school, collecting debt, learning the highest level of a certain degree on anything. What's so funny?
Then you're making $60,000 a year.
And then you're making $60,000 a year. That's right. My friend, man, he's a clinical
That
psychologist.
sucks.
He's worked with the fucking Boston Strangler. I mean, this guy is brilliant. And I go, hey man, I don't know pride. I'm just curious to know, what do you make? He goes, well, 65 before taxes. Before taxes? What do you make after? 50? Holy shit.
I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. What goes up must come down.